So what's up everyone, we're going to be doing Sun in the second house today of your horoscope. Talk about egoistic historians. Let's get started. So Sun in the second house, what is it? Or what does it mean when you have Sun in the second house of your birth chart? Well, first of all, let's discuss what second house is. Second house is your family legacy, your family history. You know, it represents your speech, the way you talk, how deep or how how steep your voice is. It is the food you take in, the kind of food. It's your family assets, it's wealth, it's your hoarded wealth, meaning it's your savings. Okay, it also represents music and art, like cultural things, not music and art in sense of drawing something, but you appreciating things. Okay, and the way you appreciate is how your second house is in your horoscope. So what if you have a second house with Sun in there? Well, pretty much anywhere that Sun goes, it illuminates that house. Depending upon, especially if it's not debilitated, let's not discuss if it's debilitated, but Sun in that house illuminates it with its bright light. So what happens is, what if you go in a room and you turn on a floodlight? You will see things, but you will really not be able to see things because it's so bright. It's flooding everything. All you see is white. So this is what Sun does. And Sun is your ego, your fatherly figure. It represents your father, it represents your government, it represents your self-esteem. So your ego gets a boost from family. Your ego is a descendant of how you think about your family. You know, the ego is really boosted while you show off your family history in a positive light, and that's what usually happens. So what happens is Sun becomes the center stage in the family. Like you with the Sun in the second house will be like, hey, this is my family, these are my assets, take notice of it because this is who I am. These things make who me is. God, my English is just going haywire. And since Sun represents your father, usually these people come from a family of, let's say, a politician, or father could be a government worker. Father could also be a very creative person because Sun represents creativity, your original creativity, because it rules the fifth house of Leo, and the original fifth house is controlled by the Sun. So creative process also, these guys could be like art lovers, music lovers. They love going to concerts, they love going to elegant and very regal places. Like these people would love eating, like expensive, delicious food, and they think of it as a everyday food. They're like, no, I deserve this every day. You know, father had a very authoritative finesse in the family. Like when father walked in, people like the family would be like, oh, dad's here. You know, sometimes when dad is easy and mom and dad are both equal, but with these guys it's like, okay, when dad walks in, hey, you better behave, you know, because Sun and second house, which is the family, you know, father controls and overpowers the entire thing. So depending upon how Sun is placed, either it could be a very dramatic experience if it's debilitated, you know, and if it's not receiving any sort of a positive aspect, or if it's in well dignity, then father is going to be a person who's going to drive your ego. He's going to instill a lot of values in you that will, you know, permanently keep your ego intact. What happens with Sun in the second house is that your ego is really driven from how your family legacy has been, how your relationship with the father has been. Like these guys become really egoistic about, you know, their family history. So what happens is, since Sun is illuminating the entire second house and you can hardly see anything, this person can hardly see anything, what they do, they translate their original history through their own independent manner, because Sun is also independent. So if this family history is bad, anytime they're out in the crowd, they will still present that family history in a dignified way, in a prestigious way, so it looks royal. So, and you can see this, you know, which I'll discuss how you can see this when I go through Sun through certain signs and houses. I mean, this is going to be coming along, like, you know, I'm going to be doing Sun through signs, but Sun through ascendants. So what happens is Sun is your first house of Taurus ascendant, or second house of Taurus ascendant. So we'll get to all that. But Sun really, what it does is kind of blinds the person about the true reality of their, you know, environment, their family, their assets. And like in the ascendant, their ego takes over their entire body and their entire being. So they cannot see their true self. All they see is this kingly figure. So Sun drives its ego from its family environment, from its family legacy, from the assets it gets from the family. The speech, the speaking ability of this person is going to be very authoritative. Why? Because second house represents vocal cords. Sun is what? Authority. It's pretty easy to understand these things once you put some logic into it. So your speech is going to be very dynamic. It's going to be very authoritative. It's going to be eloquent in a very royal way. Like when you speak, and you will, especially this will come in your 30s, and so, because the more mature you get, the brighter the sun becomes in a positive way. So your speech is gonna be, kind of very authoritative, like a bellowed speech. Like when people hear you speak, you're like, oh, somebody's important talking, like a university professor with those beers. I mean, look at Bill Clinton, our 42nd U.S. president in the United States. He is a Virgo ascendant with Sun in the second house and is debilitated. And that's why his image suffered, as you know why. But when he speaks, people love to listen to him. I mean, he can melt a Republican. That's how good his speech is. So this is why their speech become very dynamic, but, they kind of lose the true essence of their history. Like they only give what they feel will be right to boost their ego. All right, so guys, this was my analysis on Sun in the second house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe above, because hey, maybe your Sun in some other house is going to be coming up soon, so you don't want to miss that. And if you want to know more about astrology and true astrology, check out my link below. Check out my articles there, check out my videos there, check out my book there, Astrology at the Speed of Light, and hopefully it'll help you in understanding this science. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow, and enjoy my Robert De Niro horoscope. Bye bye.